I'm here with Molly to talk about Unit 26. Molly has recently been tasked with an event at her workplace. We also have her line manager here to have a professional discussion to talk through the event and some of the preparation, some of the follow-up. So Molly, talk me through a little bit about what was the event, why were you doing it?
We had an event which was a social media seminar, so it was for all of the applicants that we deal with who had received their loans to start up their business. We provided them with the seminar to help them basically promote their business through marketing.
Okay, excellent. So you were coordinating this event with your colleagues, is that right?
Yeah.
So what was your role, what was your responsibilities for it?
Well, I prepared the venue so that it had enough light and the temperature was reasonable. Mm-hmm. Made sure that there was no wires on show or left lying about.
Okay. Why did you do that?
For health and safety
Brilliant.
reasons.
Okay, yeah.
We laid the room out in a boardroom style so that everyone could be seen because it was quite based on group discussions. Mm-hmm. We also gave out agendas prior to the event and at the event so that everybody knew the schedule and what was happening at each point of the day, just in case they lost track.
So talk me through, how did you know about the event? So talk me through the beginning steps. So when you were being the coordinator, who gave you the brief? What were the next steps? What did you get prepared ready?
My line manager gave me the brief,
Okay.
and then I created the invite.
Brilliant. Okay, what did you create that in?
Publisher.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Okay, good.
And then we sent this as an email out to all of the delegates invited.
Okay, how did you do that?
I did it separately.
Okay.
Because we wanted to make it personal with each person's name instead of dear applicant.
Lovely, okay, so you did that in Outlook?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, yeah. Okay, and then once you sent the invites out, what was the next sort of responsibility that you had, next job?
After that, we made the agenda, which was, well, it was already on the invite, but we made like an official one for when they came. And then we waited for responses, and I've got like folders on my Outlook where I put the responses in.
Yeah, okay.
And then I added them to the attendee list. And then just before the event, I sent them an email with a map on, so they knew how to get here and where to park and
brilliant. Okay,
things like that.
Excellent. Okay, and so you set all the event up. You just talked about, so you did that in a boardroom style, so they could talk. And then what happened on the day? Talk me through how it went.
Yeah, not as many people turned up as we would have hoped, but most of them did. We signed them in using the delegate list and showed them where the facilities were.
Okay, excellent.
We provided them with refreshments, and we also welcomed the speaker because we had the event in-house and the speaker was from an external company.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he done the presentation for free for us.
That's good. So did you have to send him the details before the event?
Yeah, we sent him the details and the agenda, told him what time to go for, gave him the map.
And did he get here a bit early to set up? How did you work that?
I said to him that I told him what times the delegates was coming and that if he wanted to turn up before the refreshments and stuff to turn up, then he could to set up.
Okay, yeah. And then who else was here on the day then? So who else was working with you in terms of staff and things?
My line manager was, and also the senior manager done an introduction.
Okay, yeah.
And told him where the fire exits and stuff were, and then we also had our business mentors. They came in so that if any of the delegates had any questions, they could speak to one of the mentors.
Brilliant, okay. And any problems? You said there wasn't so many people, which is sometimes a common thing with events.
Yeah.
Anything else on the day you sort of learned? You thought, oh, didn't think of that, or?
Well, luckily we've got our own projector here, and the speaker, his one wasn't working, so we had to get our IT manager to set that up for him.
Excellent, okay. So did you go and ask him and explain?
Yeah.
Was it all a bit frantic?
Yeah, at first, but that's why it was good that he turned up early, because...
Perfect planning, excellent, okay. And so then once the event had finished, what was the kind of things then that you had to do, and talk me through, remember what you did?
Well, first of all, we put the room back to how it was, because we had it in next door with the chamber, and they had set up for an event in the afternoon, not knowing that we had one in the morning.
Okay.
So at first we had to take all their stuff out and then put it back.
Right, okay.
And then I sent follow-up emails and sent an email to Andy, who was the speaker.
Brilliant.
Thanking him.
Okay, yeah. So, all in all, how did you find it? It's your first event, is that right?
Yeah.
And what did you think? What did you find on the day?
Yeah, it was okay. Like, I'm glad that for my first event there wasn't so many people.
Yeah.
And that it was in the house, because I knew where everything was, and I'd planned it. So.
And did the day go quicker than you thought it would?
Yeah. It was running over slightly, because where there was so much discussion, it was like hard to get it through quickly. Yeah,
but you enjoyed it? Something you'd like to do again?
Yeah.
Good. And what would you think now, having done the event, the before, the on the day, what do you think for the next event? Would there be any changes, any little things that you thought about? Did you talk to anyone about anything differently you might think of?
Yeah, we thought that we'd give it more time, because we didn't start planning the event until like a month before.
Okay.
So we think that if we had planned it a bit earlier, then more people possibly would have come.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we invite people, we'd probably do different. We'd said that we'd do it like as an online thing, so that they could like register for the event.
Mm-hmm. That's good, isn't it? That's good. That's key points to take away, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think worked really well? What do you think on the day? That went well.
They really took the presentation well. Like, they was all really interested in it. They was all really engaged. Like, no one was really just sat there. They was all asking questions, and I think they took a lot away from it, because most of them didn't really know a lot about social media.
Right, okay, that's good. Excellent, okay. So let's have a little chat to your line manager in terms of, how Molly got on, and, from your sort of witness, really, watching her. How did, talk me through that.
I was very impressed throughout all the different stages, from the initial sending out the invitations, keeping on top and logging all of the responses, both the delegates that had booked on and then perhaps had cancelled. Molly was always keeping up to date with the exact picture. In fact, the senior manager would often come in the morning and ask, and you would know instantly how many people were booked on at any one time and who was who. So you paid a lot of attention to detail. Spent a lot of time creating a nice invitation and being quite creative with the design of it as well, which I was quite impressed with. And then through to the running of the day, yes, it did run very smoothly, and there were lots of little hiccups, overrunning, but the hiccup with the speaker and the IT is always scary when IT equipment doesn't work and you don't understand it, and then trying to keep everyone where they should be on time. It was very tiring. We were running around a lot, but I think it was it was very professionally run, and you looked calm at all times and professional, looked very smart on the day as well. Met some of the mentors, so you were quite friendly and chatty with the mentors as well as the delegates. And I actually think, in hindsight, the fact that it was a smaller group, I think in the long run worked out in our advantage, because I think it gave delegates more of an opportunity to say more. Because if it had been a bigger group, then they wouldn't have had. It was more interactive, so I think actually it worked out better in the long run.
And the thing is, with events, there's always going to be problems, isn't it? It's how you overcome them. So Molly, you've talked that through, which is brilliant. That's great.
Yeah, and people, the feedback we got at the end was that they were very pleased they'd come, they enjoyed the session, and they were well looked after.
Excellent. Yeah. Great. Well done, Molly. So, just to clarify, when we talk about budgets, was there a budget for this? What was the
There wasn't a budget because it was in the house and we only used petty cash for like the refreshments and something. So
okay. So talk me a little bit about if you had to plan another event and you had a budget. How would you sort of keep track of that as the event coordinator? What are your thoughts?
I'd make sure that I was on top of quotes and how much different companies had quoted us for the venue, and if they was going to provide refreshments, trying to find the best deal and making sure that I was keeping a track of what we'd already spent and what we have left.
Good. Okay, good. So in terms of the role of an event coordinator, do you feel like you'd achieved all of those things that you'd set out on your plan? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think that it went really well. There wasn't any major things that it came to the day and I was like, oh my god, I've got to do that.
Yeah.
So,
good.
Yeah.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, Molly. That's brilliant. Thank you.